Concocting terrorism-related incidents to justify unpopular political policies is a well-known tactic of Western governments. And this week, Canadians appear to have fallen victim, yet again, to that tactic. Even opposition members of Parliament have suggested that the recent explosions in Boston and the so-called foiled terror plot in Canada are being exploited by the Harper government to ram yet more unconstitutional anti-terrorism legislation through Parliament.
And now it's getting even more ridiculous. They don't even need a real problem. They just need the perception of a problem. As long as the people believe that there's a problem, they'll often be willing to give up civil liberties for the guarantee of security from the government.
Analysts say that universally accepted standards of jurisprudence have to be done away with when it comes to those accused of being terrorists by the Canadian government, because many of those terror suspects are actually innocent. Legal experts say that the lack of an actual terrorist threat in Canada explains why Canada's government is quick to pass legislation which allows terror suspects to be detained without evidence or charges. In Canada, the state has often claimed to have foiled terror plots, as was claimed this week. However, time and time again, those accused of terrorism turn out to have been set up by intelligence agents and other beneficiaries of a fear-based society.
We had the now famous case of the Toronto 18. And this is a young group of guys who were accused of being a terrorist organization. Now, they were set up by a CSIS informant, an undercover, who coerced these guys. And a lot of them ended up getting off. And but what happened was, at the time that this was going on, the front page of every single newspaper and everywhere said, "Terrorism is here, terrorism has arrived." Later, it came out that this wasn't necessarily true, but the problem is the damage was already done.
A lot of it is political theater. A lot of it is about, as I said, expanding fear. A lot of it is about a real global sway over towards this idea of we're a risk-based society. We are constantly looking out for threats.
The two men arrested this week in Canada's so-called foiled terrorism plot have professed their innocence. Yet, analysts fear that by the time a verdict is rendered on their cases, the Harper government will have capitalized on their arrests, and yet more hard-won rights of Canadians will have been suspended. Joshua Blakeney, Press TV, Calgary.